that was mostly agricultural. It was much more a religious and faith-based tribute. What was more like a tax tribute was the Inasi. And the Inasi was wherever you came from, what was the best product or agriculture, or whether it was domesticated animals, whatever it was. It was like the entire Polynesian empire brought their best as a tax and a contribution to the Tuitonga through the Inasi. Now, the oral history and some of the understanding we have on the function of the Inasi, it wasn't just the Tuitonga or the Tuiha Takalaua just taking everything and keeping it. A big part of the Inasi was actually, and this is a very common practice like we've discussed in the past, in the traditional way of hosting a feast in the Tongan culture. Everybody, if a guy was really good, he had a lot of pigs, really good at raising, he would bring the pigs. One guy was really good at farming ufi, he would bring the ufi. Another person was, and so everybody would bring what they were good at, right? Bring it to make the feast. They would hold the feast. What was left over from the feast, you wouldn't give back to the guy who brought pig, right? Because he already has
pigs,
lots of pigs. So what you would do is, the guy who brought the pigs, you would give him ufi, right? Because that would complement what he already has. With the guy who brought the ufi, you would give him maybe the pork, and so there was an effort to distribute what was brought in. And it makes a lot of sense because that's how you would reward and maintain the leadership throughout all the different islands, is they would take their little quote unquote piece of the bartering or the system back to their islands. And if Samoa were the most proficient, they provided the highest quality axes, one would assume that's one of the tributes that they would bring. And that being a very valuable tool during those times, one would assume that that would be something that would be given to the other leaders of the other islands who came. And that's how you could potentially explain how all the axes were distributed throughout the Polynesian Empire.